This is the best segment I think you're going to see in a long time. This is all for the thrill seekers and all of you animal lovers, including me and Curtis. This one's definitely for you.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. Phil Hillary is the Director of Animal Programs over at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Fun is just a short drive away, folks. It's right around the corner down there in Tampa. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Hey, thank you for having us. We're here with a bunch of friends. We brought some of our animal ambassadors just to kind of share what we have at the park for people in the Jacksonville area to come on over for spring break and join us.
Yeah, we talked about, obviously, Busch Gardens is, about there's thrill rides, there's all kinds of great stuff you can do. You can see the roller coasters here. It's roller coaster capital, Florida, but couldn't bring the roller coasters into the studio.
We'll have to go there next.
So, and we'd rather see the animals. So you got some here, huh?
We have Emmett. He's a screech owl. This is full size for Emmett. This is as big as he's going to get. What's cool about Emmett is we have a really great relationship. Our veterinarians work with rehabbers in the area. We do a lot of work with wildlife, and we rehab these wildlife at Busch Gardens, and the guests can actually see that at our animal care center. Emmett is an example of one of those animals that, unfortunately, a family thought they were helping him out. They started feeding him when he was a little owlet.
Oh, boy.
And he got used to being fed, and now he's not releasable. But what's great for you guys is we can share his story with you and kind of tell you, let the wild animals be wild. Yeah. And we do have some excellent animal care specialists at Busch Gardens, and they know how to take care of them.
Well, speaking of taking care of him, what does he eat?
He eats small rodents,
insects,
like mice, grasshoppers.
More like rodents.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been
more
known
like
to eat
rodents.
earthworms. Yeah.
Okay, there's things that we don't eat.
Yeah,
okay, that's okay.
He's small but very mighty.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll take on whatever fits in his mouth.
Can we get him to make any of the screeches or no?
Actually, they make this little whirring sound. It sounds like a UFO. I don't know if you ever hear that out in the wild. It's really cool.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things, and this is PSA, folks. I always tell people, look, if you can't, that's one of the penguins. If you can't name if you can't call it by its scientific name, it should not be your pet.
Exactly. They're wild for a reason. Let's let them stay in the wild. We'd like to protect their environment.
Yeah.
But let them be wild.
But Willow is one that I want to take home. I want her to become my next pet. Oh my gosh, if I had a wild animal, she would be it. She is amazing. Her name is Willow,
yes,
right?
This is our Tamara Wallaby. This is Willow. She lives with our mob over at Kangaloom, which is an interactive kangaroo area at the park. Guests are allowed to come in. They can walk amongst the kangaroos and wallabies.
I think Willow's smelling.
I think she is.
Can I hold her? I'll hold her in her little pouch. I'll hold her and you feed her. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my
totally
gosh.
down for that.
Oh my gosh. Look at this.
You smell that grass over there?
She gets a whiff of that. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Willow's, like I said, a Tamara Wallaby, and they're a marsupial. So they're a little bit different than most mammals. They have a pouch, and they raise their joey in that pouch. It'll actually be born in about 30 days. Goes into that pouch and it lives there for a number of months.
They only have
and
a
that's why
30-day
she's
gestation?
very, very short. It's very unique.
Oh,
yes.
Man, my wife would kill for that right now.
Yeah, right.
She's like 4.5 months pregnant. She would kill for a 30-day gestation period. This is great.
So they live in the pouch, and that's why we have her in a pouch right now. This is how she grew up. She was hand-reared with the the ambassadors at Busch Gardens. And so she's very comfortable in this pouch. It makes her feel at home.
And she has the cutest little fingernails. She is such a little girl. She has eyelashes and fingernails that girls would love.
Yes.
They would love to have.
But again, you're making it sound cute, and people are going to want to take it home.
Well,
those fingernails
you don't want to.
Can claw you, right?
Well, and just like any of our animals at the park, they are still wild animals. We do have animal care specialists that take care of them. That's what they do for a living. That's what they study for in college. And so they are definitely the specialists.
But it's best to go to Busch Gardens and to visit them
in
their
visit.
sanctuary.
Yes.
Exactly. So that'd be a lot more fun.
All right.
Well, you got another cool one on the way.
You have another really cool one here. We saw
Harry.
the tease there.
So a lot of people ask us about penguins. Why do you have penguins in Florida? Isn't it too hot for them? But
we deal with that at our zoo as well.
Yeah. It's actually, this is an African penguin. This is Turk.
I don't want to give her back.
They're from South Africa. And
temperate penguin.
It's a temperate penguin. So their climate is very similar to ours. They have the really cold water, so they can hop in the cool water if they want to cool off. But up on land, it's still pretty warm. So at Busch Gardens, we have a colony of African penguins, and we have chilled water for them to simulate what they would have in the wild. They can jump in if they want to cool off. They have this really neat adaptation where if they're too cold, they turn their back. It's black. It absorbs the heat from the sun, warms them up. If they get too hot, they turn their chest, and it's mostly white. It reflects, and it cools them down. So it's a really cool adaptation that they have.
Very cool.
And the hair is just so beautiful. It's almost like wax.
It's almost
just,
like feathers.
Feathers.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it's feathers, you guys. Okay, all right, okay, blonde
No,
moment.
you're absolutely
But
right. They're very, very dense. You can have almost 100 feathers in a square inch.
But it's like water maybe just
Super
rolls right
slick.
off.
It's so dense that they create this
Hydrodynamic.
pocket of air, and it keeps them cool in that really cold water.
Oh, beautiful.
Very cool.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And I have another question, Phil. Who is your next animal?
Friend.
Very good.
Spit it out.
Well
Spit
done.
it out, you sloth.
This is Harry T. Sloth.
Harry T. Sloth.
Harry T. Sloth.
Does he like grass?
Harry.
No, but he likes a green bean.
Oh, there you go.
green beans. I love green beans. Oh, come on, you, Harry.
Sure.
Very cool. So
Yes, he's a Hoffman's two-toed sloth. Oh, there you go.
How are you going to grab
He's
that?
holding it.
That's
He's
about as
holding it
fast as he
himself.
goes. He's kind of speedy right now.
Want to play the slap game?
Okay, so what's the obsession with sloths? Because, I mean, even here in the studio, we have an audience right now for Harry the Sloth. Everyone loves sloths.
They're so unique. I think people just, when they see a sloth, it is just out of this world, and they just can't believe their eyes. And if you come to Busch Gardens at the Animal Connections area, we have a number of different sloths, and you can actually see them up close, just like the rest of our park. We have amazing up-close interactions with our animals. You could go out onto the Serengeti and feed a giraffe. You could go feed a kangaroo. Any of our insider tours will take you deep into the heart of our animal care facilities, and you'll get to see exactly what we do.
So cool. Thanks for being here.
He's awesome. Harry, you're the best.
Hit that rock.
He's trying. He'll get there. He'll give you a bump.
Very cool. All right, remember, you can find
Super
out
fun.
more about Busch Gardens events and attractions on buschgardenstampa.com. You can also find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, of course.